Scoring option that Pitt has been relying on quite heavily as of late. This is usually the part where I say the jersey colors, but I think it's a little bit more obvious tonight than other nights. Pitt in the gold, Boston College in the maroon, and we are off here from Steeltown.
I think these gold uniforms look pretty nice.
We were talking about it a little bit before. It's a lot of yellow, but I think it kind of works.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's a lot, but it looks good.
Here's Todd to start things off. The mid-range jumper rattles out. And there's Faye with the rebound. The Panthers leading rebounder and scorer gets her pocket picked, that time by Wagner in transition.
She wanted to do a little bit of everything there. I think she did a little bit too much. The defensive rebound, get it to your guard, and they can push the basketball up the floor.
Todd quickly driving again, and she is fouled. We'll take a look at what Boston College needs to do to win today.
Yeah, obviously they're starting with Faye, neutralizing her. They have to send 2 and 3 players to her and make somebody else beat them. And then the transition defense that goes alongside of key number 3 with control on the boards. If they're rebounding the basketball, that transition defense is going to be a little bit easier for them.
Quickly the other way, it's the Panthers, and Johnson with the finish for the first couple points of the game for either side.
Great pass ahead by the point guard in Washenitz to Johnson, leaking out. And for Johnson, just got lost.
That was too easy. Wagner down low.
Just got lost on defense. But back to that play for Johnson. That's something good for her to get going on early, is to get a nice, easy layup in transition.
Look at some of the critical factors in Pitt trying to get a result tonight, looking for their second ACC win of the season.
Yeah, they have to be tough, and that starts on the inside. As you see, Elmore getting a few buckets. Johnson, Elmore on the inside. They also have to box out and rebound. Faye is one of the leading rebounders in ACC. She'll need to be all over the glass.
Saw the 3 there from Todd off the mark. She's the only player in the country shooting over 50% from beyond the arc, as another 3 goes by the wayside there. And Johnson, the last person to touch it before it goes out of play. And see Coach Mack here for Boston College, her 7th season. We were getting to talk to her a little bit during the week. And she brings up a really good point with this team, because you look at them on paper and you say there's a lot of talent on this team, and it's just about sort of everybody having their day on the same day, as she talked about. And she said they can stack up against almost anyone if that happens.
Yeah, that's for sure. And she talked about their inconsistency, and they need to be more consistent. Just like you said, they need more players stepping up each and every game. They had that their last game against Clemson. Can we see that here tonight for the Eagles?
Panthers off to a good start from the field, 2 for their first 2. Boston College already 6 attempts for them, only 1 has gone down. Still just a 2-point game, a little bit over a minute and a half in. As Pitt will bring the ball up now with Miles. Johnson on the outside, a couple players swarming her. Washenitz got some space for the 3, and she knocks it down. Boy, I'll tell you what, Marley Washenitz has gotten a lot better shooting as of late in the tail end of the season. She shows it off there quickly the other way, though. And a foul. Something Coach Verdi likes to see, this depth scoring with this Panthers team in his 2nd season at the helm for the Panthers.
And he's frustrated by that foul there. You get things going on the offensive end. 2 easy buckets, Johnson, Elmore. Washenitz hits a nice wide open 3, and then you give up a silly foul on the defensive end.
It'll be Njai to shoot. The sophomore from Senegal appeared in 30 of 33 games last season as a freshman. And you see just how productive Marley Washenitz has been this season. Had some struggles offensively. That wasn't the strong part of her game. She was always been sort of this defensive player for the Panthers, but her offensive side has really come along, especially in these last couple weeks.
Yeah, nice little solo shot up there. Shout out to our crew on getting Washenitz on the camera there. Yeah, she really has been stepping up late. She had a tremendous game, even though they lost out west at Cal, but she had 12 points just in the 4th quarter. She had 20 against Cal, and you know, that's impressive numbers against a top 25 team in the country.
Njai makes them both, cuts that deficit down to 3 as Faye tries to get some space down low, and she is swarmed. Good defense that time for Boston College.
Yeah, that's a tough break, goes off of Faye. Are they reversing the oh.
Yeah, it looks like it'll stay down with Pitt. Looked like initially they indicated it was going the other way, but we'll stay with the Panthers. And that's something you're going to see all night, I feel like. Khadija Faye getting sort of swarmed down in the lower part of the paint.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think they'll be sending a couple double teams, maybe double, triple teams.
That'll be a travel on Miles that time. 2nd turnover so far for the Panthers. Panthers have struggled with turnovers a little bit in the last couple seasons especially. And something they're trying to sort of fine-tune towards the end of ACC play here. Nice pass going inside that time, and travel now on the other side.
Yeah, that was a great backdoor by Todd. Ivy finds her, just might have slipped on some water or something there. Nice backdoor pass. Great help by Faye. As we'll shout the Pitt defense there on that help side by Faye coming over, making them turn the basketball over.
Bit of a slow start for Todd, 0 for 3 to start things off in the field for her. Johnson off to Miles. 10 on the shot clock for the Panthers. That one poked loose. Johnson has to recover quickly now with 6 and now 5 on the shot clock for Pitt. Johnson gonna do it herself. The mid-range floater goes down. Little improv there from Johnson, and it works out.
Yeah, that was a great floater, great timing by Johnson, great read, knowing the shot clock was running down. She got in the knife of the defense there, and she knocked it down.
Off the ball foul that time. Looked like Njai and Faye got tangled up. We take another look at that bucket from Mikayla Johnson.
She just splits the defender there. Nice little soft touch right over the front rim. Big bucket.
Johnson, the graduate student from Anchorage, Alaska, not necessarily a hometown you see on a whole lot of rosters, but transferred from Colorado after playing 15 games for the Buffaloes last season.
And she is a player that Verdi has really been calling on all season. He's excited about her. She's just in, young career, and he thinks, her ceiling is unlimited. She's really going to grow as a player here at Pitt.
It's a turnover from Wagner. 2 turnovers for her now. Also, Njai headed off a little bit earlier after picking up a couple early fouls to her name, so maybe something to keep an eye on for the Eagles as we head into the middle part of this game. Faye, the jumper from a little short of the elbow. Not necessarily what you're used to seeing from her from that kind of range, but it goes down, and Pitt has an 11-4 lead. Just over 6 minutes left in this first quarter. Depth scoring, one of the things that's going to be critical to Pitt getting a result tonight, and they have gotten it so far. These have been the 2 names to watch of recently, with Faye and Washenitz averaging both over 13 points per game in their last couple. They have 5 combined so far tonight, Brianna, and sort of definitely off to a right start early on in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's for sure. That first 3, I talked about it earlier, as soon as it went down, that was big for Marley. She hasn't really been known as a scorer, but lately she's been having to step up as they've needed somebody aside of Faye to get on the scoreboard. But tonight they're going to need a little bit more production. It was good to see Elmore get in there, Johnson, but they're going to need to keep that up as this game continues. And
you see the pressure Faye gets when she has possession down low, and anything you can do to sort of alleviate that pressure is going to be critical for the Panthers. And they've knocked down a couple open looks, including the ones you mentioned with Washenitz and Johnson early on. Here's Todd looking to snap out of a cold start here for Boston College. 1 for 6 as a team from the field in the early going. 3 that time from Daly off the back iron and out. Offensive rebound goes the way of the Eagles, though, but Sidbury can't handle it. Washenitz comes up with a nice play from her to get it free, and the Panthers are going the other way with numbers.
Even though Pitt gave the offensive rebound up to Sidbury on the Eagles, they did surround her to get the basketball back in their possession.
Foul that time, as you saw Miles driving down low looking for the opportunity, and she'll go to the charity stripe for a couple.
With the front line you see in here with Washenitz and Johnson, and the free throw line going for the rebound here, might see a little bit of pressure against the Eagles.
Miles knocks down the second. Turnover's a problem early on for the Eagles. 4 turnovers in just over a little over 2.5 minutes, in the last Trends of play here, not something that team's looking for. 13th in the ACC with 16.5 turnovers per game. In an 8-point hole early on. 7 on the shot clock. It's Daly looking for space. Nice defense that time from the Panthers, and no options as they turn it over to Miles.
Yeah, Pitt is everywhere on the defensive end, getting hands out, deflections left and right. Their defense has really been leading to their offense right now. As you see here, Daly just surrounded 2 players. She can't even see her teammates, and then Miles so quick, so all over the defensive end, gets out in transition, gets themselves to the free throw line again.
It'll be Johnson from the line, doing a nice job getting behind the Eagles defense that time in transition, setting up a couple more free throws early on for the Panthers. That's their 3rd attempt after Miles went to the line about a minute ago. 6-0 run for the Panthers over the last 2 minutes. And Johnson knocks them both down to extend that lead up to 10.
Yeah, that's a good sign for her, going for 2 for 2 from the free throw line. She's just a 56% free throw shooter on the season.
A bit of a rush possession there from BC. Another chance now for the Panthers going the other way. Miles.
She's so fast,
again.
so fast down the court.
Corner 3 from her that time. Not necessarily her game, but Miles hits it from the corner, and the lead's now 13 for the Panthers.
Wow, Zach, not at all. She only shoots 28% from behind the arc, but everything going the Pitt Panthers' way right now with the 17-4 lead. This ball movement is tremendous. Inside the 5, as you see the double team. But they know Miles is not a 3-point shooter, so that's the game plan right there. Make Miles, make anybody else on Pitt beat us besides Faye. And right now, other players besides Faye are beating the Eagles.
And you mentioned, Brienne, just textbook passing there from the Panthers as Daly goes to the line, trying to cut into that deficit a little bit. Finally snaps that 10-0 run the Panthers were on after that 3 from Miles. And it's been a problem with this Pitt team pretty consistently over the last few years, and getting off to these slow starts, sort of getting behind the 8 ball early on, not at all the case tonight. Miles up to Biggs, newly into the game for the Panthers.
Boston College showing a little bit of changing up their defense, trying to pressure Pitt in the full court. Pitt easily breaks it.
Miles to Washenitz. Swings it out to Elmore, the 3 from her, and that one goes. 3 for 3 from deep so far for the Panthers.
I love the size. She's always throwing something up after she knocks it down. She loves hitting from beyond the arc.
An explosive offensive start for the Panthers. Boston College still without a field goal in over 5 minutes, and Miles again going the other way, and she finishes with the right hand.
Boston College just out of sorts on the offensive end. Pitt's pressure defense is really getting to them. They really haven't executed much of their offense to start this basketball game.
Sidbury, another turnover for the Eagles, number 7 in the first quarter.
Coach Mack has to be beside herself. This is the inconsistent play that she has been talking about. You see on the other end, what a skip pass by Marley Washenitz. Love the reaction. Elmore for 3, yeah, money.
Elmore and the Panthers certainly feeling it in the first 6 minutes and change of this one. Pitt's made their last 3. Boston College has missed their last 5. Just 1 shot has gone down for the Eagles so far tonight.
Now, this is a hot start for the Pitt Panthers. I was going to say, this has to be one of their best quarters of the season, aside from that SMU third quarter.
Not a great turnover there if you're the Panthers, but certainly tough to be too upset with this first quarter so far if you're Tori Verdi and company.
Yeah, and the Eagles really going into their bench right now.
See 9 of those Pitt points coming off of turnovers, 0 on the other end for Boston College in points coming off of turnovers. 3 trying to get the Eagles back on track, and that one misses as well. 0 for 4 now from beyond the arc, and the Panthers get possession again.
That was a great take by Tiana Todd. She gets into the center of that defense. 3 Pitt Panthers collapse on her. She kicks it out, but Wagner is really not known for her 3-point shooting. And those are the looks that Pitt is wanting to give Boston College. Boston College is playing into the hands of the Pitt Panthers right now.
Pitt now into the bonus. Faye will get a 1-and-1.
Love those pink shoes that Faye has on right now.
Excuse me, that'll be 2 for Faye as she makes the front end. Yeah, certainly jumping off the screen there.
Zoom in there. Yeah, those are pretty nice. Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah, there you go, a little seasonal shoe action there for Faye. That one misses off the back. We mentioned these 23 points for the Panthers, only 3 from Khadija Faye.
I would think that Coach Mack and Boston College was not anticipating that start.
Todd off the mark again. The best 3-point shooter in the country, 0 for 4 from the field to start. Faye tripped up there. She goes down hard, and another foul will send her back to the line.
And she's lucky to be getting up from that one, because that looked like that could have been, well, hopefully she's getting up from that one. Did you see another look ahead by Washenitz there? Oh, she falls on.
Caught the foot of Todd there, it looked like.
Yeah, definitely.
Faye isn't indeed going to stay in the game and go to the line here. And I'll tell you what, Brianna, if you said at the end of this first quarter that Khadija Faye would have 3 points, I'm not sure this is the scoring margin you'd expect in this game, a 23-6 lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, I don't think I could say I would believe you with that score. I don't think the Eagles can believe it either.
Faye perfect from the line. Lead up to 19 for the Panthers. 18-2 run for Pitt over the last 4.5 minutes. Daly looking for some life. And that's the kind of start it's been for Boston College. Just under 2 to play in this first quarter. Pitt trying to do even more damage in what has been an absolutely flawless opening frame for them. Faye open down low, off the glass and down, and Pitt is up 21 with 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
I mean, this is an incredible performance by the Pitt Panthers right now.
Washenitz with the foul, and I think that was a good foul there. As open look down low for Boston College. We'll take another look at the basket from Faye.
I mean, post to post, Elmore to Faye. I mean, a great seal by Faye. That's just flawless basketball. Exactly what Coach Verdi loves to see on the sideline there. Pitt Panthers playing extremely selfish, sharing the basketball, working well with one another. And as we mentioned, Faye is not even their best player right now. They're playing very good team basketball.
One thing Boston College has done well tonight so far, free throws, 5 for 5. Now 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. Just one shot has gone down from them from the field, though, 1 for 11.
And there they go again with that pressure, but Brooklyn Miles, the point guard, beats it herself, 1 on 5.
If you want to get into a track meet with Brooklyn Miles, probably not going to end well for you.
Absolutely not.
Washenitz calling for Faye as looks like we'll get an off-the-ball foul here.
Yeah, and that was an unfortunate foul by Todd there because Boston College executed that defensive set so extremely well. They knew what was coming. They knew the play. It was an isolation for Faye on the block, and they had 4 players collapsing on the paint inside of there. They couldn't even get her the basketball. They did attempt to get her the ball, and that's when, unfortunately, Todd was called for the foul.
Todd going to want to wipe this slate clean in the first quarter here. 2 fouls for her. She will sit at the end of the first.
Yeah, and she's 0 for 4. Just absolutely uncharacteristic of her. 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. As you mentioned earlier, she leads the nation in 3-point field goal percentage. But I don't see her being quiet all night, that's for sure, Zach.
And just like that, Khadija Faye is back to being Pitt's leading scorer with 9 points.
Just like that in the first quarter already, right?
Good defense from the Panthers again, but maybe a little too good as Washenitz gets whistled that time for the foul.
I mean, Verdi and the Pitt bench over there was screaming for a travel. Instead, Dontavia Wagner backing down the smaller defender of Washenitz gets herself to the free throw line instead.
Wagner to the line, the transfer from NC State, where she came over after her freshman season. Coming off a really good game against Clemson, where she was 6 for 9 from the field with 16 points and 9 rebounds, coming up just short of a double-double there.
Yeah, she's been a pretty impressive player at Boston College, putting up numbers that no other Boston College player in history has. Over 1,100 points, 500 rebounds, 200 steals. She does it all for the Eagles.
I'll tell you what, especially in this modern day of college sports, and you can get a player who averages 13.2 points 2 years ago, 12.9 points last year, and now 13.3 this year to stay around your program, good things are going to come. Heavy pressure again. And Miles able to beat it once again for the Panthers. Trapped a little bit this time, and she gets it out to Battle, who finds Faye down low.
Yeah, Miles having no problems against this Boston College pressure. I did see a turnover coming there, and she got it out of the triple team. And then Aaron Battle finds Faye to score inside.
Another off-the-ball foul for the Eagles.
Zach, this is almost like another SMU quarter. You see here Faye stepping in, takes the charge. I mean, they're getting it done on both ends of the court.
Delivered the pass, and Faye still there to take the charge. Panthers looking to add on to their lead at the end of this first, and Biggs able to finish down low.
Everything falling for Pitt right now, shooting 77% from the field. They're 79%. I don't think I've ever seen a stat like this, Zach. Pitt is shooting 79% from the field. Boston College shooting 9%.
My goodness. A half or a quarter just dominated by the Panthers. Boston College looking for something at the end of the first quarter, and they got nothing. A 23-point lead for the Panthers. They finished the quarter making their last 6 shots, and everything going right for the Panthers. Had that early bucket go from Wagner from the field for Boston College, and they didn't make one after that. 1 for 12 in that first quarter of play, and Khadija Faye picks up right where she left off.
I mean, the energy that the Panthers are playing with right now is they've set the tone from the jump. 16 points in the paint, 79% from the field, with the Eagles shooting just 9% with 2 points in the paint. I mean, you can't win basketball games like that if you're Boston College.
Ivy off the mark, and there is a lid on the rim for the Eagles right now. 1 for 13 the start for Boston College. Biggs to Elmore.
You see, they're still surrounding Faye. They have 3 players surrounding her. Todd just comes out to the three-point line now. She was down inside with 2 other team members.
Miles directing traffic again at the top of the key. Now 3 on the shot clock for the Panthers. Battle gets one up. Faye going for the rebound. But she will get an over the back there for the foul.
Yeah, that was absolutely over the back.
2 fouls for Faye, 13 points for her, 4 for 5 from the field. Well on track for another double-double with 5 rebounds as well.
Yeah, and Coach Verdi did talk about that they can't afford to have Faye get in foul trouble, and she does have 2 points. However, when Coach Verdi was saying that, I don't think he was anticipating his team having a start
25-point lead, yeah.
Right, with 22 points aside from Faye scoring the basketball. So if it happens at all in this game, I'm sure he's okay with it right now.
I'll tell you what, too, if you're Boston College, this is your chance to get back on the game with number 15 on the bench for the Panthers.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do with that opportunity down there. Faye gets her second foul. They put themselves to the free throw line, but Sid Berry misses the first.
8 of those 10 Boston College points have come at the free throw line. Sid Berry knocks down the second half.
I wonder what their shoot-around was like this morning. Zach, you were there. A lot of times I remember playing in college, and coaches always refer back to your shoot-around. If you know, if you seemed like you were having a bad shoot around or it was early in the morning, you seemed tired, and you didn't play well at night, they were always talking about that shoot around in the morning.
I'll tell you what, there were a lot of players defending the practice player in the number 15 penny for that Boston College team. This time they do finally get something to go from the field. Now 2 for 14 as Wagner still the only Eagle to make something from the field.
And that's what they need to do. They capitalized off that turnover by the Pitt Panthers, and they turned it into points on the other end. They will need to chip away at this score.
Elmore.
But not like that, Zach.
The Panthers 4 for 4 from deep. Couldn't have dreamt a better start for the Panthers.
Absolutely not.
The foul, and the shot goes down from Daly.
Yeah, that was a great take by Daly there. As you see, what a pass. Ivy to Wagner. Nice little look away, no look. And then you see on the other end, great take, great find by Brooklyn Miles to find her shooter out in Elmore. We're calling her a shooter. We're calling the big girl a shooter.
She's certainly been showing it at times this season.
I say she likes to stand behind the arc more than she likes to be inside the paint.
Daly finishes the three-point play, and that's big for the Eagles. Deficit still 22, but got to take it a possession at a time if you're Boston College. Miles with 7.5 to play in the second quarter. Johnson down to Elmore, sort of filling that roll down low that Khadija Faye left after she was put back on the bench. And the Panthers are 5 for 5 from deep with Johnson.
Wow, another great find by Marley Washenitz. That's 2 times cross court. She sends a bullet to her teammate to knock it down for 3.
Johnson 3 for 4 with 9 points. Another strong defensive stand by the Panthers down low.
And 4 Pitt Panthers surround that defensive rebound. No Boston Eagles players in sight to get an offensive rebound. They're one and done right now.
Washenitz, Johnson, heat check 3 off the mark.
That sure was a heat check, right? Unfortunately, it didn't fall for Mikayla Johnson.
First miss from deep for the Panthers tonight. Sidbury, really nice finish there with the left hand. She's got her 2nd and 3rd points of the night.
Yeah, great spin move. She takes advantage of the mismatch, and Brooklyn Miles, the height advantage that she had there. Nice little spin move to finish with the left.
Mentioned Sidbury earlier on, 20 points in each of her last 2 games. Transferred from Utah after their Pac-12 title last season. Get another look at this 3 from Johnson.
Yeah, Marley Washenitz doing a little bit too much there. As you see, double team. On this play again, Marley Washenitz falling out of bounds. Sends a bullet right to her teammate, Mikayla Johnson, to knock it down for 3. That's a good-looking stroke by Johnson.
I'll tell you what, too, how good has that passing been from the Panthers so far tonight? Just finding the open space and alleviating pressure on some of their shooters, giving them the time and space needed to knock them down.
Yeah, I mean, they have 11 assists already. 11 assists on 14 made field goals. I think you'll take that in any basketball game if you're a coach.
Battle in possession, the only Panther who hasn't scored. She does have a rebound and an assist to her name, though, as Faye gets some hard contact down low again and draws the foul.
Yeah, and she's working really, really hard inside. She was super low, had great position, was backing down Wagner, who she definitely has the height advantage on. Wagner is pretty strong inside there, but Faye was working hard to get that basketball.
We've seen it so far tonight and from pretty much every other team Pitt has played this season in trying to be really physical with Faye, especially when she gets inside the paint.
Yeah, I think a lot of times teams obviously send those 2 and 3 players to Faye. She scores again there. They like to send those double and triple teams to Faye, but I also think they like to make her work and put pressure on her, because when you're a big girl, and any player, when you're working extremely hard, you're taking it's a lot of fatigue. They're getting fatigued by working extremely hard and for so long. She plays so many minutes that teams want to wear her down, and that's really what Boston College is trying to do now. She plays nearly 30 minutes a game, and that's a lot when you're working as hard as she is down low.
Saw some visible frustration from Tori Verdi on the sideline that time after Faye's third foul. We'll send her back to the bench towards the end of this first half.
And now if you're Pitt and you're Coach Verdi, this is when the Panthers need to realize the score and execute their offense. They don't need to slow the game down by any means, but they need to take smart shots. They need to execute on offense. They need to take care of the basketball and value their offensive possessions right now.
Still a 23-point lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, for sure, but especially while Faye is on the bench.
Right. Doing the little things right, definitely something the Panthers are going to look to do heading into the second half. The margin 10-10 between these two teams in the second half of play, so Boston College has found a little bit of life after that pretty brutal first frame for them. Daly. Nice move to get around Johnson that time. Couldn't find the finish, but gets her own rebound, and it goes out of play.
Yeah, she was crafty inside there. Great footwork, just couldn't finish the easy bucket. 43-20 at the break.
Back here courtside of the Pete Academy alongside Brianna O'Rourke-Kelly, and we have seen quite the performance for the Panthers from beyond the arc so far tonight.
Yeah, that's incredible. You compare it to the season, just a little under 6 threes a game, shooting 32%. Here tonight for the Pitt Panthers, they're shooting 71% beyond the arc with just 5 threes. But still, the percentage that they're shooting is incredible right now. If they can keep it up, I don't see Boston College coming back at all tonight.
Whenever you nearly double your season average in three-point field goal percentage, you're going to be in a pretty good spot, and that's exactly what the Panthers are in right now with a 23-point lead with just under 5 to play in the second quarter.
As much as their shooting has been phenomenal, their defense has just been as well.
And there Todd finally gets on the board. Nice dribble drive there from her. Picks up a couple, her first 2. Now 1 for 5 from the field. We mentioned her prowess from the three-point line, but really hasn't shown it too much so far tonight. 0 for 2 from deep. Trying to get her going towards the second half. Miles with 8 on the shot clock. That one poked away. Johnson now. The Panthers got a scramble here towards the end, and Miles stepped on the baseline.
Boston College was with a good defensive stance there, really packing the paint, making it difficult for Pitt to get inside of there. Even with Faye on the bench, they're still collapsing their defense to make it hard for Pitt to get inside there.
Daly off to Todd. Defended closely that time by Johnson. The mid-range jumper off the mark. That time the rebound goes to Biggs. Filling in for Faye and doing a nice job getting the rebound there.
Now, what did we say? One of the keys was toughness. That was a tough rebound by Audrey Biggs coming in off the bench, and that's what bench players need to do. Come in and make yourself known. Make an impact as soon as you get in the basketball game, and that doesn't need to be by scoring on the offensive end. It can be a great defensive rebound by Biggs, just like Biggs did there coming off the bench.
Looking for Biggs off the bottom of the backboard that time. Couldn't get a clean look thanks to the close defending done by the Eagles. And yet another turnover for Boston College. It feels like they've had a lot of these rush possessions tonight.
Absolutely, and something as simple as you practice as in 4th grade, a 3-on-2 transition break that Boston College just had there. And they can't execute it. Not even just can't execute it, they turn the basketball over. Just uncharacteristic things that the Eagles are doing this evening.
Those turnovers have led to 13 of the Panthers' 43 points as well so far tonight. And another nice job from Johnson getting some space in the paint. She's up to 11 points and has by all accounts been one of the Panthers' best players tonight.
Yeah, wow, that was a tough take by Johnson. And then Todd on the other end, a tough fadeaway by her. We said she's not going to be quiet all night. And there she is, 2 back-to-back, almost back-to-back buckets by her.
And it felt like it was only a matter of time until Todd turned things around. Washenitz a 3, and Marley Washenitz continues to stay hot from deep.
This new and improved Marley Washenitz three-point shooter. I think Coach Verdi is loving it.
The Panthers have been looking for this guard secondary scoring for the last few years, and there's a chance they might have found it in number 11. Green looking for an answer for Boston College, and the Panthers come up with the rebound off the miss. Washenitz 6 points on her 2 3-point shots so far tonight. Going low this time. The improvised shot goes right down to Elmore, and that's the kind of night it's been for the Panthers.
Yeah, with Faye on the bench, they're still getting on the offensive glass with MaKayla Elmore getting herself in there for a little rebound.
26 points, the largest lead of the night for the Panthers. And another Boston College miss. Haven't seen a whole lot of ball movement tonight from the Eagles either, sort of on the other end of what Pitt's been doing so well so far.
Yeah, it's just sticking with players right now, and they're trying to get themselves to the free throw line because that's what's been working early on for them, but unfortunately, it's not working here these last few possessions.
Bit sloppy that time from the Panthers. Todd trying to take advantage in transition, and she is fouled. Johnson picks up her 3rd foul as well, so some of the Panthers' leading scorers getting into a little bit of foul trouble here towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, and that's something that could come back and bite them down the stretch of this basketball game. Just a minute and a half in this minute and a half left in this first half. 2 of their best players on the bench with 3 fouls.
Todd's 2nd trip to the line, and you see Johnson seated there. Certainly going to be a factor going forward for the Panthers towards this second half. Todd makes her 2nd of 2, cuts that deficit down to 24. We'll take a break here. 50-26 lead for the Panthers towards the end of this first half. Back in Pittsburgh, the secondary scoring from the Panthers has been the story of the night. You see Faye with those 15, something we're used to seeing, but also Johnson and Elmore in double digits, along with Washenitz and her 2 3-point field goals as well, leading the charge for a very impressive first half for the home team.
And that's what we talked about early on in the show, that Pitt Panthers needed somebody else to step up beside Faye. And they're not only getting 1 and 2 players, they're getting 3 and 4 players, showing some offensive production.
Pitt shooting 67% from the field, 18 for 27 for them. On the other side of things, Boston College 25%, and it's 6 for 24. Njai drives in, had the chance at the corner 3, but passes it up, and wisely so, as she gets the finish for a couple more.
Yeah, that was great patience and a great finish inside.
Battle, who has been in possession quite a lot today for the Panthers. As Washenitz saves the possession with 13 to go in this Panther shot clock. Miles working downhill again, the contested layup off the mark. Elmore there, though, for the rebound, but too many Boston College bodies there in the paint. They get the rebound, and the shot clock turned off here with 21 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was good defense by Boston College. Pitt had some opportunities inside, but they were really tough looks to finish.
Boston College an 18-17 advantage here in the second quarter over the Panthers, looking for something in the final 5. Njai chucks it up and just short. Not sure that last shot would have counted anyway, but that will end a first half dominated by the Pitt Panthers. 3 players in double figures, that being Johnson, Faye, and Elmore. Looking to continue that trend here in half number 2. Washenitz starts with possession for the Panthers, swinging it out wide. Elmore's got some room for the corner 3, and that one just off the mark from the outside.
And what's really interesting to note right now and to see is Mikayla Johnson and Khadija Faye starting out on the bench in this second half. They are up by 22 points right now, and both of those star players for Pitt are in foul trouble with 3. So I think Verdi feels a little comfortable, obviously, with starting with them on the bench.
You've had a player like Biggs for the Panthers come in and definitely hold her own down low as well. So trying to give themselves a little bit of breathing room, but a good start here for Boston College as Njai gets fouled.
Yeah,
She'll look to complete the 3-point play.
2 ends of that, not the way that you want it to start for the Pitt Panthers, but the exact way you want it to start for Boston College. I love that she catch such a clean catch, clean finish off 2 because she sees her defender coming from behind her. She goes off a 2 rather than 1. She gets the opportunity for the 3-point play, and she converts.
And it may not have felt like it just because of the hole they put themselves in the first quarter, but Boston College outscoring the Panthers in quarter number 2, an 18-17 advantage in that department, and they get the first 3 points of the second half. Elmore defended well that time in the corner by Sidbury, but Elmore slips by, got a decent look there, but can't find the finish. Miles from the outside, and Miles knocks it down. 2 for 2 from deep for her. Someone we aren't used to seeing shoot from out there. Boston College now the other way, a 3 off the mark from them. Rebound, and that one finished. So fast-moving offense both ways to start this second half.
Yeah, wow. Brooklyn Miles again for 3. I mean, that just says what kind of night it is so far for Pitt. But shout out to Boston College, not just giving up and coming back and striking on the other end.
Short jumper there from Battle. And officially every Panther who has played has scored.
Yeah, wow, Erin Battle getting herself on the board.
22 points, the advantage for Pitt. Nice pass. Good cut that time from Wagner, but she's fouled that time by Battle, it looked like.
Yeah, that was a great find, a great cut. And Wagner does an excellent job. She knows that she's getting fouled. She tries to get the basketball up to the rim. They didn't call it a shooting foul, but she tried. But they do retain possession.
Ivy looking for an outlet. She finds it at the top, and Njai. Washenitz defending down low, doing a nice job, but the loose ball goes back out to Njai, who finds the twine yet again.
Yeah, Boston College got lucky on that loose ball possession. They just come up with it in the right hands, and they take advantage.
Njai now the leading scorer for the Eagles with 9 points. Here's Biggs.
Shot clock running down, 6 seconds left. Erin Battle can't find the bottom of the rim.
Maybe not the ideal look there for Battle. Going the other way now, Todd, and there is the 3-point shot we've been talking about.
Yeah, there's Todd's first 3 of the day, just 1 for 3. But Panthers cannot let her get hot.
She's up to 9 points as well, and Boston College has made their last 3 from the field. Washenitz looking for an answer. Off to Miles. Washenitz, another 3 from her off the mark, that time a little bit short on the far end of the court and out of play.
You see that replay here. Anna Todd just sizes up her defense in transition. She knocks it down. Such a tremendous 3-point shooter is Tiana Todd, shooting over 50%. I mean, that's incredible. Coach Mack credits her hard work. And she said to us on the call, if young players are watching this game, to learn from her. The hard work that she put in, not just last summer, the summer before, as she knocks it down again with the 15-footer. She put in work 2 summers in a row to get where she was. She went from 2 seasons ago from 30%, I believe, Zach, to 36% last season. Yeah, here we go, thanks to the crew in the back. 30% 2 seasons ago to 36%, and now she is shooting from beyond the arc at 51%. I mean, I don't know how many players in the NBA, the WNBA, shoot like that. Steph Curry, maybe? I don't know. It's really impressive.
She's the only one in women's Division I basketball, that's for sure. And that was one of those stats when I was looking over. I had to check on a few different places. I'm like, 51%?
You did say that because it's hard to believe.
Yeah. And it's not a small sample size either. She has over 100 attempts on the season, so it's no accident.
Yeah, and at this level, the highest level in NCAA basketball.
Something Coach Mack, like you said, just kept touching on was her work ethic, going sort of above and beyond, outside of practice, staying in the gym and just working on her shooting. And it has paid off big time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the other end, Johnson going 4 for 4 from the free throw line. That's big for her.
Miss Johnson, I tell you what, she's someone who we've seen grow a little bit over the course of the season. You see her in some of the earlier games taking a lot of these contested shots, maybe not the best looks, but she's gotten a lot smarter with the looks she's taken and just become a lot more efficient of a shooter, especially from the outside for the Panthers. Boston College has made 4 of their last 4 field goals. 17 points now, the deficit. And that one off the mark from Sidbury inside. Outside Johnson. Comes in a little bit to get that pass jumper from the free throw line off the mark. Daly misses the other way this time, and we're going end to end here in Pittsburgh. Washenitz finds Faye, who's back into the game. Elmore, the straightaway 3, goes down looking for contact. And we will get a whistle, not for the foul on the shot, but off the ball.
Yeah, Verdi absolutely wanted that call. I think Elmore did. I don't know if she was just enjoying the 5-second arrest on the floor, or if she wanted to exaggerate the call there, but she unfortunately didn't get the foul on the 3.
Whatever she was selling, the refs weren't buying, unfortunately for her, as Todd quickly works the other way and turns it over. Miles goes towards the other end. Washenitz from deep again, and that one rattles out. So after starting 2 for 2, Washenitz has missed her last 2 from deep. Wagner from the elbow, yes.
And that's about her range there. She extends her shooting range to about 15 feet. Faye gave her a little bit of space, and she had to knock it down. She had to shoot that one.
See, Boston College 6 for 11 in the 3rd quarter. Don't look now, that deficit down to 15 for the Panthers. Excuse me, the Eagles. Jumper from Johnson doesn't go. Rebound off as well. Miles battling for the rebound, and it will be Boston College ball. So Boston College outscoring Pitt 14-7 here in the 3rd quarter, where she was 2 for 12 with just 4 points. She ain't struggling tonight.
Yeah, she's really having herself a heck of a night. 13 points, shooting 4 for 8 from the field. She's really getting it done, as Verdi has really been calling on her this season to be that next one up beside Faye. And she's really giving it to the Pitt Panthers, or giving it all she has for the Pitt Panthers this evening. Above her average with 13 points tonight. She is 10 on the season. She averages 10. She's 4 for 4 from the free throw line when she only shoots 56. This is a night that Mikayla Johnson needs to keep moving herself and getting better, inching forward each and every game to end this season. She really hasn't played. This is her 3rd college season, but she really hasn't played She didn't play much at Colorado last year. She was injured the year before. This is her first full year of college basketball, and she's really coming into her own for the Pitt Panthers.
Maybe taking a little bit of time to mold into that #2 weapon for the Panthers offensively, but certainly showing that she can be just that.
Faye tries to step in there to take the charge and gets called for the foul. Boston College again getting to the free throw line. Daly earning herself 2 free throws.
This is the exact kind of quarter that Boston College needed. A 14-7 advantage in the third quarter. They've made 5 of their last 7 from the field and are slowly but surely working their way back from what was once a 26-point deficit in that second quarter with just over 2 to play.
Yeah, they're definitely chipping away at this score, taking it possession by possession. You can credit some of that right now, the end of that second quarter and this third quarter, to what you see on the screen right now is Pitt's foul trouble. 3 of their top players with 3 fouls.
Faye has to take a seat again, picked up her 4th there. Washenitz, jumper off the mark. Nice rebound that time from Elmore, and she's fouled by Todd.
Yeah, that was tough. Great footwork, great positioning by Elmore inside. She got boxed out, but she didn't give up. She wanted that basketball, and she went after it, and she got it.
Elmore doing so much well today. We talked about her shooting a little bit earlier, but also 11 rebounds for her and 4 assists as well.
Yeah, she's also having herself a nice little night with those nice little kicks she has on. All these players, I need to play right now. These shoes that I'm seeing on this floor. It's nice.
I personally like Wagner's too, the bright orange and teal.
Yeah, I was looking at those also.
It's like Miami Dolphins colors.
Yeah.
Here's Daly in the pink kicks. Now to Todd. Nice defense that time by Washenitz again, looking for the cutting Wagner, but smokes it off the backboard.
Yeah, Wagner just couldn't come up with that. That was a tough pass by Todd.
Pitt 0 for their last 8 from the field. Johnson takes the screen from Elmore, and that one poked away by Wagner for a second, but Johnson able to regather and restore the possession for the Panthers, now with 7 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Boston College really stepping up their defense here in this third quarter.
Miles, no, looking for her own rebound, pokes it loose for a second, but can't come down with it.
Making Pitt take tough shots.
Pitt has missed their last 9. Still a 16-point lead, just under 3 to play in this third quarter. Nice rebound, that time from Wagner. She had some time and space there, but couldn't find the net on the layup.
Yeah, Wagner doing so much, just not able to finish some of these last few buckets.
That was a real good look there that time again. Elmore trying to get physical, but has that one poked away, and she's a little slow to get back. Looked like she might have gotten poked up near the eye. 3 off the mark in Sidbury, as Elmore finally makes her way back down the court. Daly with the left hand, and she finishes.
Now that's a strong, hard take by Daly. She takes that extra dribble, turns her shoulders, gets all the way to the opposite side of the bucket and scores.
Pitt has gone over 6 minutes without making a shot from the field, sort of a flipping of the script from the first quarter.
Yeah, Boston College just looks re-energized after coming out of that halftime. Whatever speech Coach Mack gave to them is really working in this third quarter.
Another miss from the Panthers, make that their last 11 that haven't gone down. Wagner again can't finish from in close.
The frustration is written all over Dontavia Wagner's face, her body, her expressions right now. She is very frustrated with herself.
Even some points on the board. 17-9, still the advantage in the third. Elmore the 3 off the mark.
That was a well-executed set by the Pitt Panthers. Elmore just cannot finish.
Block that time goes on Johnson. Four fouls now for Johnson as well.
This foul trouble is insane right now for the Panthers. They have 2 players with 4, Faye and Johnson. Johnson just picks up her 4th. Washenitz with 3.
They've only had 7 players play today as well, so some wheeling and dealing needed from Tori Verdi down the stretch here potentially.
And just 8 active players.
Panthers also shooting 11% in the third quarter, 2 for 17 from the field. And that has allowed Boston College to get back in this one. Daly finishes it off from the line, makes them both, and the deficit is down to 12.
Yeah, this has been a really long quarter for the Panthers.
Coach Mack's team doing a really nice job of working their way back in this one. They were down and out, and this has become a game in the last 10 minutes or so. Washenitz needs something from the Panthers. And that one goes a really big bucket that time from the mid-range for Marley Washenitz.
Yeah, they sure needed that one. That was huge.
Thompson. Off to Green, now in the corner with Njai. Nice pump fake there, but can't finish the layup from in close again. And possession arrow favors the Eagles, but Boston College still leaving some points on the board from down low. Ivy to inbound. 35.5 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Daly on Washenitz. Nice defending from Washenitz. Contested shot, and there will be a foul on Boston College, so the Panthers take over. That's a big defensive stand for Pitt.
That's huge, because Marley Washenitz was straight up against against Daly inside there, and that was tough for Washenitz with the 3 fouls she has. She was battling inside there. She got lucky that she didn't get called for a foul, but she didn't care. She was tough. She was playing tough against Boston College down inside there, and they get the basketball back.
Shot clock off for the Panthers, who have made 1 of their last 13. Boston College has made 1 of their last 8, so not exactly an offensive exhibition in this third quarter. One out of play with just over 4 seconds now.
And this is something that Pitt can be happy with, whether they score or not, is ending the third quarter with the basketball.
Boston College looked like they were gaining a little bit of momentum, but Pitt seems to have put the brakes on that, at least for the time being, as Washenitz steps on the line. So maybe another stand needed here with 3 seconds. And
Zach, I feel like I should take that one. I feel like that's what you call an announcer's jinx.
Yeah.
I just said Pitt should be happy, and in the third quarter with the basketball, and they turn it over within 1 second and give Boston College 3 seconds to operate with.
You know, I wasn't going to say anything, but we'll see how this 3 seconds goes as Boston College inbound goes to Daly. Got some space up court, and she finishes. That was really easy on the other end.
Wow, nobody steps in there.
At the end of that third quarter as well. 5 4 fouls, Johnson 4 fouls, Washenitz 3 fouls for the Panthers. That's been 3 of their top offensive options so far in this game tonight, all in foul trouble. And another miss to start this fourth quarter, make it 1 for their last 15 from the field are the Panthers.
Yeah, and Boston College is playing with a different type of energy right now. You can see it in all of their players. You can see it in how they're pushing the ball up in transition. You can see how they're getting deflections on the defensive end. You can just see it in their body tone right now. They want to get back in this basketball game and win it. And Pitt is showing some signs of being defeated right now.
Foul goes on Todd, I believe, for the elbow. She threw on Miles there. 4 fouls now for Todd, so she's in foul trouble as well. You saw that stat come across your screen a little bit earlier on. Todd being sort of the 3-point threat for this team. 1 for 3 for her. That's the only 3-point basket Boston College has made. They're shooting 8% from beyond the arc. Elmore takes the inbound. Brooklyn Miles in possession again for the Panthers off to battle. 10 on the shot clock. Panthers have been bleeding the shot clock quite a bit, especially in the latter half of this game. Miles running layup there. Ball goes out of play, but the Panthers only have 3 seconds to work with off the inbound.
Yeah, great defense by Sidbury with the block from behind against Miles. She turns the corner so quickly, but Sidbury doesn't give up on that possession.
Another off the ball foul for the Eagles. We've seen that a few times now, just seemingly needless fouls for this Boston College team when they're looking to get a little bit of momentum back, and they give the Panthers a fresh 20 again now.
Yeah, dead ball, baseline out of bounds, foul without the ball being in possession is a huge no-no for Coach.
12-point game, 9 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. The lead was once 26 for the Panthers. Washenitz holds. 6 on the shot clock, drives, great pass down low to Miles, but she can't finish.
Yeah, that was a great cut and a great find by Washenitz. Too bad Miles couldn't finish.
Boston College seems to have the momentum, but still fumbling a little bit offensively towards the end of that third quarter. Daly looking to change that, pitch back out to the outside. 3 rattles out that time from Ivy.
Yeah, that would have been huge by Ivy if she could have knocked that one down. Pitt wisely pulls it out and runs some of the shot clock down.
Pitt shooting just 13% in the second half, 3 for 22 from the field. Again, the Panthers with 3 on the shot clock. Miles defended well, gets the pass down to Elmore that time though, and she is fouled, so the Panthers scrambling a little bit offensively, but Elmore will go back to the line.
Yeah, I think they got lucked out, got bailed out a little bit by Boston College. As you see here, the shot clock running down. Miles finally finds Elmore inside, and Sidbury just a little bit late comes over and draws the foul.
Unfortunately for Boston College, they played great defense for 28 seconds.
Yeah, that's so tough to give up something like that, especially a foul. Just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. You played such good defense for so long. It's a tiring possession, and then you just bail them out, put them to the free throw line.
Ooh, but Elmore misses both, and both teams still scoreless in this fourth quarter. Another nice defensive play that time from Washenitz. The steal goes back to number 11 in gold, and she's been really good tonight. Looking for her stroke a little bit offensively to come back, but still a strong defensive presence for the Panthers. As Battle turns it over. And another turnover. Boy, sloppy play here on both sides.
I was just going to say that, Zach. Such sloppy play.
And another turnover.
And you see Ivy, just uncharacteristic plays right now as Ivy drives down the center of the lane, or the center of the court, excuse me. She's one of the best in the country at taking care of the basketball. And she turns it over. And then Marley Washenitz, 4th foul. 3 of their players, 5, Washenitz, Johnson, you see it on the screen right there, all with 4, and there's still 7.5 minutes to play in this basketball game.
I'll tell you what, both of these teams, Boston College has had a chance to get back into this game. Pitt has had a chance to pull away, and neither side has done anything so far in this fourth quarter. Almost an errant pass there that time. Daly, nice job to save it and then flip it back out to Ivy, who misses again from deep, and the Panthers keep possession.
Yeah, and that's so interesting. Johnson, Faye, and Washenitz, all with 4 fouls, Zach, and all still on the floor. Or, excuse me, not all still on the floor, all back on the court with 7 minutes left to play. They have to ride with their players right now.
Washenitz looking for 5, but that one intercepted.
Yeah, and I love that isolation play they do for Faye to get her isolated one-on-one on that block. No help on the backside, and they can't get the basketball to her.
And there's Njai from the corner. Cuts that deficit down to single digits.
That's big time for Boston College. You see how excited they are over there on the bench. Can this turn things around for them right now, just down by single digits?
Njai was held scoreless last time out against Clemson, but has arguably been the Eagles' best player so far tonight. 12 points for her. Miles is fouled.
You see here, Zach, you're shouting out Njai for 3. Big-time player she has been today for the Eagles. 12 points, shooting 4 for 9 from the field. And she's hype about that one.
Played just 16 minutes so far as well. Also 6 rebounds for her. As Miles buries the first of 2 free throws. Free throws have been a bit of a problem here for the Panthers now in the fourth quarter, now 1 for 4. With Elmore's 2 misses from earlier on. Njai again, and that one rattles out. That would have been a big one from the same spot where she just made it. Unable to convert that time. Got to think they'll keep feeding her, though. She's been really efficient from the floor, and bit of a contested shot that time, almost went down again as well.
Yeah, we'll see if they go back to who's hot.
Elmore rolls off the screen. 5 on the shot clock, and the Panthers turn it over once again.
Man, Boston College is playing so on the high side of Faye right now. And the Pitt Panther guards just cannot get her the basketball. They need to take 1 or 2 extra dribbles to get to that free throw line extended, or even lower to get her the basketball, and they just aren't doing it. They're too high on the wing. They can't make that pass.
A turnover here for Boston College this time as Washenitz comes away with the steal, and another turnover. Panthers now 5 turnovers in this fourth quarter. And we talked about the huge advantage that Pitt had in the turnover department. It's now 14-13.
Yeah, as you see it here, such sloppy play. I mean, she's trying to pull the basketball back out because rightfully so. She doesn't have numbers in the shot, and they want to use the shot clock. They want to use time on the clock being up. But you're going against 3 players. You have to take care of the basketball. But then Daly steals the basketball and turns it right back over herself.
Ball will actually stay with the Panthers on their end with a fresh 30 to work with. 10-point lead for Pitt, just over 5 to play in this fourth quarter. And another off-ball foul, that time on Njai. 4th foul on her as well. So now Boston College has 3 with 4 fouls with Wagner, Todd, and Njai.
We're just gonna, each team with 3 players each with 4 fouls. That's incredible right now. We're just gonna see who can last. Who's gonna last on the court, I guess maybe is the way we're gonna look at who's gonna win this basketball game at this point.
Pitt already in the bonus. As Washenitz will go to the line, and once again, Pitt having trouble from the charity stripe in this fourth quarter, now 1 for 5. Had their chance to pull away, haven't quite taken it just yet. Washenitz knocks her 2nd down.
There you go, Zach. I had to prove you wrong somehow.
The other end of the announcer's jinx.
Yeah.
5 total points have been scored in this fourth quarter. 3 by Boston College, 2 by the Panthers. It's been a lot of ebbs and flows for both of these teams tonight. Jumper from Todd off the mark. Really strong rebound that time from Daly.
Wow.
Todd tries again.
High did Andrea Daly get off the floor to sky for that rebound. That was incredible hops.
Boston College, though, now 1 for 7 from the field in the fourth quarter. Shooting just 29% on the night as well. Miles with under 5 to play off to Elmore. Now Johnson back to Miles. Panthers once again taking the shot clock down. Washenitz the 3. And an early dagger for the Panthers. Marley Washenitz up to 12.
That was huge. That was huge for the Panthers. And you saw it all over Washington's face. She's like, finally it falls for me after knocking down her first 2 of the basketball game.
And an easy one going the other way for Wagner. So an answer for Boston College.
Yeah,
back to within 12.
Boston College needs to go quick now if they want to come away with a win. Down by 12, they need stops. Pitt is using the clock to their advantage. They're running the shot clock down. Very smart basketball they're playing right now, but Boston College needs to get the ball back if they want to have any chance.
And in a quarter where both teams have had trouble scoring, this clock now down to 1, and that one will go out of play. But in a quarter with 10 total points, Marley Washenitz hits a huge three and gives the Panthers a little bit of breathing room here in the fourth quarter. A 12-point lead for the home team, trying to hold on here in the final 3.5 minutes. Back in Pittsburgh, 12-point lead for the Panthers, and we talked about how important balanced scoring would be if the Panthers wanted to come out on top today, and they have done exactly that. 5 players in double figures, including a few pretty unfamiliar names on these kind of lists, like Brooklyn Miles, averaging just 4.8 points per game, but she's had a really nice offensive night, and sort of the complementary offense of the Panthers is really what's driven them forward.
Yeah, it's been an impressive play all around by the Panthers here this evening. And Khadija Faye is probably still going to end with her average of 17 a game. This is what Tori Verdi has been begging his team to give him all season long, and he's finally getting that here this evening.
And they've needed it so far from Faye as well because of her foul trouble early. She's only played 18 minutes. As you mentioned, though, still 15 points for her, so at almost a point a minute, we're still getting the classic Khadija Faye performance. Ivy and Boston College needs something here. Wagner, the jumper, off the mark. They've had a chance to go through this door in the second half, but the offense hasn't been there for the Eagles. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Time certainly becoming a factor.
Yeah, and it's not playing into Boston College's hands right now.
Daly looking for space. 2 on the shot clock. Needs to take the jumper off the mark, and Faye comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, Faye, great strong rebound.
Faye second on the team in rebounds with 8 now. Only behind MaKayla Elmore, who has a double-double, 12 points, 13 rebounds for number 3. Miles bleeding the clock again for the Panthers. Johnson down to Faye, and that is what the Panthers have been doing so well all year. Number 15 cleaning it up again down low.
Yeah, and that was great ball movement by the Panthers. Johnson was open for 3, but she saw the better look inside for Faye and passed up her 3-point opportunity to get an easy 2 inside to her go-to player.
Miss from Todd there from deep, and Pitt can breathe a little bit easier now with just over 2 to play. Boston College has missed 6 of their last 7. And the Panthers in good position to get ACC win number 2 on the season. Johnson ironing out. Faye fighting for the rebound, and she is fouled again, that time by Daly. Her first foul.
Yeah, and she goes down. She goes down hard there. As you see that replay that we were just talking about, this tremendous ball movement. Miles to Washenitz, hitting Johnson for 3, it looks like, but Johnson passes up that opportunity to go inside to their best player in Faye for the easy 2.
And it was Khadija Faye who scored, but you see the impact of the balanced scoring there. The defender sort of pinching out that time on Johnson, giving Faye some space in the paint and a little bit more breathing room than she's used to down there.
Yeah, when more players are giving you good looks on the offensive end, it opens up things for your best player inside when your guards are giving you opportunities from outside beyond the 3-point line.
Faye brings the lead back up to 16, and the Panthers in a really good spot now towards the end of the fourth quarter. Todd got it. Maybe a little bit too late for her, but yeah, Todd gets her second 3-pointer.
That's a nice looking shot though. Great form, quick release.
Pitt with a 13-point cushion now with 1:41 to play in the fourth quarter. Looking for win number 10 on the season. Zach Gibney, Brianna O'Rourke-Kelly back with you from Pittsburgh, and the year is 2025, and if you want to have success in college athletics, you're going to want to hit on your transfers, and the transfers for the Panthers showing up tonight for 44 of their 70 points.
Yeah, they've been really giving it to Boston College tonight, laying it on them. MaKayla Johnson above her average tonight. MaKayla Elmore above her average tonight. Khadija Faye right at her average. Excuse me, above her average. She has 19. Johnson with 13. Miles stepping up, another transfer from Kentucky with 10 points. Not her typical kind of night, just averaging 4 points, but they are getting it done in so many ways. As there you go, Johnson again.
A little bit of a less traditional football pass that time from Elmore, but it works out. And another travel for Boston College, and that should just about do it. Minute and a half to play, and the Panthers are laying it on here.
This football pass that we were talking about. Johnson wide open, leaks down court. Look at the smile on her face. You see, how in the world did I get this wide open? Nice pass by Elmore. Full court pass.
I was looking down to the right side of the court, and then I turned back to the left, and MaKayla Johnson was the only player on that side of the court as Todd fouls out. Maybe not the day she was exactly looking for, but still an impressive outing for her, the leading scorer on the team, 14 points, but only 2 3-point field goals. That was sort of her calling card coming in, but just not enough today in Pittsburgh. Washenitz, that one sits on the front of the rim for a minute, but goes down. Washenitz with 13 points, another really impressive performance for her, she's been someone who's really come on in this second half of the year, as the Panthers now with 74 points, their most in an ACC game this season. And it looks like Washenitz fouls out as well. Talked to Coach Torrey Verdi during the week about where he's at this season compared to last year. And he was talking about how their win total was the same, but they wanted to feel like they sort of took those extra steps this year. Granted, they're 1-9 in conference play, not the year they were looking for, but at the same time, this will be ACC win number 2. And you can look back and say, okay, we're taking steps in the right direction. And I think specifically looking at the early part of this game, you can say this Pitt team has certainly shown signs of improvement since the early part of the year as well.
Yeah, definitely. And Zach, as you mentioned, this will be win number 2 in ACC, which ties last year's overall wins in the ACC with just 2 last year, with Pitt still having 7 remaining ACC games to play without the ACC tournament. Now they have to make the ACC tournament and be in the top 15 in conference. They still have an opportunity to get there, but they have to play really, really good basketball if they want to make the league's conference tournament.
Talked about all the offense in the early part of the game. This fourth quarter, scorelines looked more like a Big Ten football game. 13-10 the advantage for the Panthers. Both teams not exactly making their shots too much towards the end of this game, but the Panthers doing just enough towards the end.
Wow, I don't know. That was so impressive right there. I don't know how Brooklyn Miles just dribbled herself. I mean, I'm a point guard, but she just dribbled herself through 5 defenders. I swear 5 of them were circled around her at once.
She's been slippery. I tell you what, especially in the early part of that game, a big part of those 33 first quarter points for the Panthers were her in transition, getting behind everybody on the Boston College team and just kind of facilitating the offense from there. And
she did facilitate today. That's absolutely a great word to use for her. She was the facilitator for sure. She handled Boston College's pressure. The defense that they changed up, it did not. She handled it so well, so well.
10 points for her, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, really doing it all for the Panthers. Grouped into that sort of secondary scoring category that we've been touching on all night. 17-point lead now for the Panthers, and just going to try and bleed out this final 50 seconds of play in the fourth quarter. And on the Boston College side of things, it's got to be a frustrating game to look back on, because you get into the early hole, and then you start building some momentum, but just kind of lose it out of nowhere towards the second half. And Granted, you're down 26 points, but they had their chances to get back in this game. Sidbury, the three there. Up to 8 points now for her, her first three-point field goal. And you circle that category if you're Boston College, 4 for 19 from beyond the arc. Just not where they want that mark to be. Panthers will go back to the line. Miles once again, 4 for 6 on the night so far from the stripe for her.
Yeah, Brooklyn Miles, just a 68% free throw shooter, but hitting on 6 for 8 tonight. Good percentage for her.
Brooklyn Miles also has been out there for the vast majority of the night for the Panthers. 38 minutes for her, trailing only MaKayla Elmore in the game.
Yeah, and staying on her, Zach, what a stat line. You said 38 minutes she played. She handled the basketball so well. She facilitated, but she had 14 points from 3 of 8 for shooting. She was 2 for 2 beyond the arc. She had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Now that's a great stat line for a point guard. I think if she gives that to the Panthers every night, they have a good chance at winning more basketball games because of that.
Coming into the game, like I mentioned, averaging 4.8 points per game. She wasn't really one of the players you kind of expected to step up and play such a pivotal role in the outcome of the game, but that's exactly what she did. And like you mentioned, when you can get that kind of scoring out of your point guard, it just opens up so much, especially when you have such an effective big as Faye down low to help you out as well. It just creates this sort of multi-leveled attack that the Panthers have really enjoyed so far tonight. Tomlinson knocks it down. Only her first basket of the game, first attempt from the field for her as well. Faye up to Johnson on the fast break, but Johnson can't find the finish on the layup. Daly. Fouled that time again, and we're sort of crawling to the finish here now. A lot of fouls on both ends.
Yeah, this last minute is seeming quite long.
Three that time short from Sidbury. Fight for the rebound. Possession arrow keeps it down there with Boston College.
And there's yet another whistle.
I will say we talked about the balanced scoring with the Panthers, but Boston College as well. 4 players in double digits of their own. Wagner, Todd, Njai, and Daly. Makes it 9 players in the game with over 10 points.
And they really came alive, Boston College, in that second half. Sidbury, we highlighted her to start this game just with 8 points here tonight. And I think that's, you know, well under her average and not a night that she'll be happy about.
Stop me if you heard this already, Brian, but another foul that time on Battle.
Foul? We've talked about fouls tonight?
Sort of this game in a microcosm. I mean, fouling has been kind of the key story. Panthers getting into the bonus early a few times in quarters. Boston College as well. I mean, on both ends, there's been a lot of physical play, especially down low with Faye, who has 4 fouls of her own, but has forced quite a few as well.
Yeah, Zach, this is the 24th free throw that Boston College has shot. And the 28th free throw that Pitt shot tonight. That's a lot of free throws in a basketball game.
I think if we knew that going back in that segment we had earlier with the keys to the game, free throws would have probably been on it knowing what we know now. But we'll take a look ahead here for the Panthers as well in ACC play, sort of rounding things off. We'll get SMU again on Sunday. And Brianna, I remember you were on the call for that, and that was a game. That was certainly an experience.
That
it feels
was certainly an experience. That was a historical game. Tied the NCAA record at deficit overcome, 32 points. I mean, that third quarter, I will never forget that. That'll, if I never call a game again, that'll go down as one of the best calls that I was ever a part of. That was incredible.
That'll be a fun rematch as well, followed by, of course, the rematch with Leah 2 King 2 after that. But Boston College, too, they've struggled against ranked opponents this season as well. They got 2 more coming up. And then they go on that California road trip, play at Cal and then at Stanford, and then come back home to face SMU in the latter part of February. But that's the modern day ACC for you. A lot of plane rides, and it was already a pretty spread out conference. I mean, the fact that Boston and Miami were in the same conference is a little weird to begin with, but now you throw in Dallas and then Palo Alto as well, just all over the place. The Atlantic Coast Conference is kind of a misnomer at this point. The All-Coast Conference, as our producer Ryan Marzok says.
Shout out to Ryan. Yeah, but you know, going back to my playing days, you love to travel. I love to travel as a player. I mean, it gets to be a lot, but the season is a lot no matter what way you look at it. You're playing 30-plus games. That's a lot of basketball games, especially if you're logging a lot of minutes. But the experiences that you get to have with your teammate, with your family, with your coaches, that's why you become a family, is those special moments and experiences that you get off the floor. All the hard work that you put in, you get it back tenfold. It's amazing what these players get to experience in their playing careers.
We were talking to Coach Burnaby McNamee about it earlier in the week too, with the travel schedules and everything, and she says we get to do this. This is a privilege for us. Boston College will hop on a few flights later on in the month, but faced defeat today at the hands of the Panthers, who were aided by a 33-point first quarter.